Hey, welcome. Look who we got. Live.
Oh,
Yeah,
plus.
the boys.
What a fucking show. Holy shit. What a show. Those were crazy 3 sets. We
Set
clearly
3.
can't stay on tonight, but what a fucking
Yeah.
show. Hey, we're going to do this live from the lot tomorrow, too, so good luck tonight, guys. We're going to watch it, and then we'll catch up with you tomorrow.
Glad you guys had a raging show. That looked awesome.
Yeah.
Have fun tonight. Be safe.
Thanks,
Love you
fellas.
guys.
Love y'all. Wook plus forever.
Yeah.
Nice. It was a good show. You know, of course, every show you're at, you have the bias that it's the greatest show, but it was a fun show. That was a good one.
Yeah, if you believe
glad we had a
me,
good time.
if you believe me, the first night in Nashville was the greatest show ever. Didn't I say that when I came on?
You did. That was the first thing you told us.
Oh man, it was a good show. Lots of so what we had 14 repeats is what we figured. So now's the time, I guess, you move into which version is what's the best of 4.0.
Oh yeah.
You can start comparing them already.
Yes.
Well, tonight's Carini
Carini
was not as
opener?
good as the other Carini, so we can start there.
Right, and I think it was the placement. When Carini's a
Yeah.
first set opener, it's
Yeah, but I like changing it up. I like opening second set with the bag and opening first set with the Carini. It's kind of fun. It's different. It's like, it feels different, so it's weird, but it's kind of a good weird. It's kind of a good.
Yeah.
Let's try
It's
this.
a metaphor for how the world is right now. It's kind of topsy-turvy, upside down.
Yeah. Agreed.
that triple was better than yes. It was.
We're gonna get to that later.
Llama's favorite.
So where did we start? The Carini, and then there
Yeah.
was something good after that.
Wolfman's.
Wolfman's
Yeah,
brother.
Wolfman's. Yeah, they stretched it out a bit.
No, that was good. I mean, that kind of set the table for the Sand, which came after it, because that was where it really started going. Oh, hey, I'm gonna bring Baker in right now. We got another guest. What's up, Baker?
Hi. Hi,
How's
guys.
it going?
How we doing?
Good to see
Good.
you.
Amazing. That show.
Right? We were just getting
Dude.
into it.
Yeah.
We were just talking about those first 3 songs that they came out with. That
great.
Carini, Wolfman's, and
I hopped
Damn.
on a little late.
Right.
yeah, it was good.
I caught
good.
it starting at Sand.
Sand was good. I was just saying, Sand's kind of where it took off. That's kind of what started. I
Yeah.
feel like that's where they kind of found their legs and started the night after that.
They
And
say
then,
the best for you.
I'm good luck, except if you were at Charleston 3.
Right. Happens to the best
Exactly.
of us some nights.
That
So,
was my last show.
right. So they did. What was the Lawn Boy?
Lawn Boy after that.
Mom
Yeah.
Boy was fun.
Is Lawn Boy ever going to be cool enough though? After they did the Lawn Boy, every time they play it, people are like, maybe again. No.
I don't think people think they're ever going to jam that out again.
Ever. Yeah. I think it's kind of just settled back into what it is and what it always was. That was a special.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I
I
agree.
feel like the songs we expect to jam are the ones that they jam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And every once in a while you get that little surprise out of the
Right,
one-off
right.
somewhere. Yeah. Right. And then we've come to outlive our brains, which is always fun. I love those lyrics. Those are some of the better Casbot fun lyrics, with everything, the 9 cubes and gluing your magnet and stuff. That
In
one's
my
always
pick
fun.
5, in my pick 5, I
Yes.
put Death Don't Hurt Very Long. So when they played the other one, I was like, pick the wrong one.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Were you guys at Casbot Vax, the Halloween show? Any of you?
Yes, I was. Yeah. Yeah.
What'd you think when you were there?
I loved it. I loved
loved
it.
it.
And we were actually one of the few times I wasn't on the floor. We were up in the stands, and it was cool seeing the floor light up. I was mesmerized by the floor lighting and they were all the white and everything. It was so cool. It was so fun, and those songs grooved. So it was such a fun show. It was such happy grooves and so fun. So yeah, I loved it.
I fucking hated it so much. I was sitting, I was looking at the playbill. We were like, how many songs did they do? How many are left? When is this going to be over? Terrible. And now I'm obsessed. I think it's brilliant and amazing. And I want to hear at least 1 or 2 tunes every show.
Yeah,
So tonight
no,
I was psyched.
at least you came around to it, but that's too bad you didn't enjoy it in the moment. Like and the
Ugh.
cubes, the things hanging from the ceiling when they were lighting up, like I was tripping my ball. It
Yeah,
was
but
so
that was
fun. It
annoying
great.
too because the song says 9 cubes and there were 12 up there. So it was like so fucking.
Like, why?
I hated it.
That's
You
awesome.
went down a rabbit hole, huh? You were like,
Oh man.
So I was like on my phone. There's a funny picture of me just like sitting like on my phone.
When did you start the turn to enjoying those songs finally then? What made you start to like them?
I feel like Santos, Say It To Me Santos, like was played somewhere where I was, and I was like, this is amazing. And then when they would play things, I was like, oh, these are great. Like, I just feel like, you could get big voted or you could get cast on facts, and I'd way rather get back.
Totally. I mean, you never know. And when you're listening to it the first time, you're kind of unsure of where it's going. Like, I get that too. Like, I was just
like Halloween, right? Like you're expecting something else, even though Chilling Thrilling is my favorite Halloween that I've seen.
right. Yeah. Well, you're kind of expecting that cover, or you're excited for like, what cover is it going to be like, and then you're kind of like, what is this? But yeah, no, at least you came around to it though.
oh, I crapped out. Give me another cover. Come on.
Sorry. Okay, I digress. Go back.
All right, we got Nelly Kane.
I was gonna say, speaking of covers, Nelly Kane was played next.
And that was in the spot that Wook likes to call the Mike Set Killer spot, where Mike always has his Set Killer song. So I thought tonight was good, though. I always like kind of a throwback Nelly Kane. Like, I don't know. I don't mind it. It reminds me kind of the old days. And
I don't think that falls on Mike as much as Trey's like, all right, I've played 4 tunes. Let's give Mike one.
Well, no, I know exactly. But then it's always like the one he pulls out is always sometimes yes, sometimes no. And Wook, hey, that's Wook's quote, not mine. I'm just relaying the
Nelly Kane's nice and short.
It is.
Yeah.
You can get through it.
Right, exactly.
Not my
We'll just see that
favorite
they
of,
can play different genres of music. Great.
It's not my favorite of the choices. I like
we're done.
Uncle Pen. Uncle Pen's probably my favorite of the bluegrass. Their old home place.
Yeah. We've got the Tube. They also played that Tube, which I feel like Tube gets a lot of play these days. Like, I feel like they've been really bringing it out a lot more than they used to.
I mean, it was in the first show and this show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and before that, I feel like I always get in and like it out at the forum. I feel like I've seen it so many times lately. I don't know. Anyway, it's always good though. I always like it.
Yeah,
and then
that's
Horn,
Most played song of 4.0.
right?
What?
Exactly. It's in the tie, right? It's tied for it.
Tied
Now.
for most played song of 4.0.
Gin, Ghost, Free.
Yeah.
Santos.
And then we got the 3-set run of riff songs, which I am always a fan of. It's my favorite album, so they can play anything off of that, and I'm a fan. But knocking out Horn, Rift, and Wedge was awesome. Always fun, great, and nothing was spectacular, but they were fun. They got them. It was great. So
They played well, sounded good.
yeah, exactly.
I had a fun
And then where were we? We'll close out. Oh, and then
Walls.
Walls of the Cave.
Walls of the Cave.
Walls. Which again always rips. I mean, what are you gonna do? Like it does what it does. So
The set's gonna be over. So if you have stuff
right,
to
yeah.
do,
So if you need to take a piss early, you can kind of get it done and
Yeah.
get back. And
You
Baker,
can
you're not a
look
fan
at
of it, are you? I know you're not really a Walls.
I mean, I get it. It's fun and like it changes and it goes from like, and the line, there's great lines in it, but
I like the second half.
I want something else. Yeah. Well, I'm always like skip to the good part.
Which is like so many of the songs. Like get through the lyrics and just get to the jam. Get into
I'm
it.
just like, I've seen too many 3.0 shows. I've seen Walls close a show so many times. Like I've seen MoMA open a show so many times that I just like, same thing with Zero. Like,
Oh
I
yeah.
just want something else.
Yeah. Zero in the encore. Like I get it. So it's that and Susie. Like everyone knows Susie's my bitch,
much.
but like that and Susie, I'm always like, oh man, there's so much other things I'd rather. And everyone else is going crazy for it, but you're like, oh god,
That's
Zero.
how I felt
again?
in Nashville with that Zero. I was like, really, that's gonna be my last song in Nashville. This character.
I
Zero.
went nuts for that Zero in my apartment. I was like, that show, this is perfect.
That's what, yeah. Sometimes it fits. Sometimes it really fits, and it's like the song you want to rock out to at the end. And other times you're like, oh man, come on, like Zero again. Oh,
Right, Zero again.
Yeah. So, but yeah, Walls is always fun. I think like you said, the jam is always fun. Getting the jam is what's always fun. So yeah. And then set 2. I mean, we got double 20-minute jams in that thing. That was just
Killer.
monster. I mean,
Killer.
that was. I don't know which one did you guys. Go ahead, Kev.
Can I send a shout out to Fam for catching every 4.0 simple?
So far, he's on a roll.
Yeah,
That's
so he's
right.
on a roll.
Don't
and
you
I think
hate
plays
Simple? Who
on.
hates Simple?
Llama.
Dude, I referenced you tonight.
He commented on it as soon as it started. He's like, "Oh, great! Now we're gonna have to talk about this tonight."
Yeah,
But it was
that's all right.
fucking awesome.
It got dark.
It
Which
was
was good.
disgusting. Like it was dirt. Like it was
Yeah.
evil. It was
Yeah.
sick.
This
So
one was
what
pretty
happened
good.
at the end?
What? Oh,
You guys
with
were
the-
saying you thought Trey ripcorded it, and
Oh well, we kind of skipped over some important.
a few things. Yeah, we can come
Yeah.
back up to it. But yeah,
Let's
we had
come back to it.
opening the bag, which we kind of talked about. Opening the second set with a bag, which was awesome. That was fun.
Yeah.
Kind of whatever. And then that Blaze On. I mean, let's get into that for a second. That thing,
Killer.
killer, like killer. And I always kind of rag on it here and there, and it's again one of my not favorite ones. But when it jams, it jams. It's like get through the lyrics again and get into the jam part, and I'm in. Yeah,
I love those lyrics. I'm like, that's my life story. Those lyrics.
You want to talk about you making wrong turns, Kevin?
Yeah, but
Do you screw up two more times?
I always end up going right though. So that's the story there. But yeah, that jam did work its way through a lot of territory there.
It had layers, like
Layers.
multiple layers.
And just
Like
yeah,
it went so many different places, and it was like dirty. Like it was very evil. For me, I just hear Paige's synthesizer like making everything like
Horror movie.
like very, very scary and dark.
well, it's funny you
Sci-fi.
say that because usually, Carini is what gets dark a lot of times. And the last two Carinis have been not dark, especially because
Like
this one
Lizzie.
opened the show. So you're not really going to be able to go dark with the opener. Like you have to kind of keep it light and get into it. So, you're not going to come out and start scaring people. But
Everyone's coming up on their drugs. You don't want to
right. You're like, hey, welcome to the show. You're like, oh my God, what's happening? But yeah, so I mean, but it's interesting, when you put a dark song like that in there, that then they kind of made up for it with the simple later and kind of threw that in there. And speaking of making up for it, Chad had mentioned that he thought they were going to do a 20-minute jam every night of the summer. And we missed, I think, one night in Nashville, but then we got two tonight. So technically they're kind of back on the 20-minute song every show vibe, which is kind of cool. And tonight, I mean, that thing was 27. We almost got a 30-minute Blaze On. So
I have a theory about all these jams.
what's your theory, Llama?
My theory is that they need to create a bunch of 20+ minute jams for their vinyl series, LP on LP.
I like it.
Yeah, which
Just
explains
I
the
don't think they're
reduction.
thinking about it.
Capitalism.
Yeah, you don't think that's their plan, Baker?
I don't think they have a plan.
Yeah, I don't know.
I
That's
like the
just
theory, but
kind
yeah,
of in
I
the back
think-
of my mind. Yeah,
I like it.
I mean,
Okay.
it seems to be a pattern. Like the second song of most of the sets has been 20 minutes.
All those
Mhm.
people are kicking down $25
Except
for
for
every
Mr.
20-minute
Completely.
jam.
Yeah, a lot
Yeah.
of people plunge that.
They're
Yeah,
like, let's make some money for Mockingbird.
totally. And why not? I mean, that's a great
Great
vehicle. for it.
cause.
cause,
yeah.
Interesting. Why are you
Totally.
laughing at it?
And if we get two in a set, that's even better. I mean, fuck yeah, I'm all for that.
I love it. No, that's great. It makes me happy. Good for them.
Yeah.
Work.
Dude, you're on thin ice. You have to be nice to everything and everybody right now. Thin
Right.
ice.
Repent, Kevin. Repent.
Seriously.
As long as
Repent.
you learned your lesson, you're
Well,
okay.
he brought me on. I'm like, I'll talk shit. I'm like, can I yell at Kevin? But I want to yell at all parties for the record.
Yes. Yes. There's a
know
lot. There's a
that-
lot to go. There's a
All right,
lot to go
Baker.
around with
All
that.
right, Baker. I'll say this: that I would not want to see my children talk to another person like I spoke to that person.
Right.
And
I-
real debate aside,
Right.
I
I
was
assume you
wrong.
apologize to Felicia.
I don't know her.
But
I've never
you-
met her.
Doesn't matter. Did you apologize to her?
Hell, I don't even know who she is.
DM, text her, put it on Twitter. Just say, I'm really sorry.
I did apologize on Twitter the other day.
Okay, good.
So, but
He
yes,
did.
I mean nobody any harm, but I really have a tough time my whole life. If someone says no, you can't do something, I'm always like, yes, I can. And I was drunk and belligerent.
And it was
the
18
last-
months of pin. There's no excuses, but it was 18 months of pin up energy, and you were like ready to rage. It was your 35th week. A lot of factors went into it, which is always the case, and bad things happen.
I'm not
And-
making excuses.
I
I was
No.
wrong for reacting that way.
I have a fun fact.
And
What's
that's good, Kev. That's good.
I want to say something about the Rail Riders, but go ahead.
Go ahead, Llama.
Oh, I was just gonna say, did you guys notice? Because in Blazon, I noticed that the light rig wasn't spinning; it was just stationary.
So you
Yeah,
think it
some
wasn't
people
spinning
were
tonight?
saying they're not sure if it was working properly.
Well, I guess the canopy can't support it when it spins, so they leave it stationary. They do that at Alpine too, evidently.
Oh, I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
they can't have the full
Safety.
rig in. Yeah, it's a modified rig.
Yeah.
Safety first.
Which is
Safety first.
interesting. yeah.
Third.
You know what happened to Curtis Mayfield, right? The lighting rig fell on him, and he was paralyzed for the last 8 years of his life.
I didn't know that.
Didn't know
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Dark facts for these.
The
dark
more you
channels.
know. Kev bringing facts.
That's whack.
Yes. Go ahead, Baker, if you wanted to come back to your rail.
So
comment.
I
give you a
just
floor.
want to say that I have witnessed some of the most disgusting behavior that I've ever witnessed, especially at a Phish show, from rail riders. Like, I've seen a woman physically like move another woman who was just going up there to take a photo, and I've seen a guy like bully two young kids about being in the space, and I had to yell at this person because I watched the whole thing go on and I knew the guy. So I it's cliquey, and sometimes, and some people are super aggro about it. I think that's wrong too. I think that, you know, I get a little aggro when someone comes to my space because I like to dance and I like my space. But regardless, there is, like, when I'm, for example, when I'm at Dick's, I go on the floor with this crew and they're amazing, and people come through and I watch, like, I get like a little like tense, but I'm just like, are you, you know, keep walking kind of thing. But I have a friend who, while she's standing there, she kind of just like manages it really like calmly and polite, you know, where I'd probably be less. And I think that's what lacks from the rail riders, is like that first step of, dude, keep it going, like keep moving,
Right.
which is what I
Yeah, sure.
often say when I'm on the floor and there's like a group and we're all together or something like that. And I think they lack that. I also think that, I mean, dude, you were so wrong, and you double down, and I get that there's like a dislike for rail riders, so it's kind of fun to be like, I told rail riders to fuck off, but you can really only tell them to fuck off if you're there and they're trying to make you move, like if they're doing something to your space.
Well,
you know what I mean? Which is what that guy did, so I screamed at him.
Right.
He was
To the
bullying these
fact
kids.
to the fact that I passed out at 5, woke up at 7, tweeted, and passed back out. That's where that, and I mean, I should have turned my phone off. Like, I don't know. What the fuck I was thinking.
Yeah.
I get it.
And listen,
I get like both sides.
Yeah, and then to that point, I mean, like, I'm always on the floor, and for the last, like, since they came back in 09, I've always just I don't really get wasted shows. I go in early. My drug is trying to get up to the rail or as close as I can. So I've been up there and I've dealt with it, and it's hard. It's a hard thing to break through in, because for whatever reason, even though they do the numbered lottery and it's supposed to be like anybody can get up there, it's always the same people up front. It's always the same. There's a bubble that starts about the 4th row back that you cannot penetrate unless you're inside of it. If you're inside of it, it's safe because no one gets in there. But if you're not inside of it, it's shitty as hell because everybody piles up right outside of it and you can't move. But yet everybody has like 5 feet of space inside of that to dance. And so people behind are like, why do they have all that room? And it's just, it's brutal. And they thought by doing the thing with the lottery would help take care of it, but it really hasn't. Like maybe 1 or 2 new people get up at the rail.
Well, because
but if
the same people line up and they're friends with friends and they bring their
right,
friends,
and so they get their numbers and then they get in there and they all group in, and then but then that's where the problem, because then when somebody new comes in and they're like, oh hey, I'm on the rail, I want my friends to kind of be around me, those groups are like, oh no, they can't get in here, like blah, blah, blah. And then it's just and to that point, I know when you sit out all day, I mean, I've done it. I sat at the Forum all night one night overnight with kids that were seeing 21 Pilots 2 days later were in line with us. And we sat out there with them all night long, and we still almost didn't get our tickets because there was another line going on the other side of the Forum that they were like, no way, the real line's over there. And we were like, dude, we talked to security. They told us to line up over here. So we even had infighting before the show with like fans from the other side of the Forum trying to be, no, we're the rail. No, it was insane. Anyway, we ended up getting like, I got the third spot and we got the front row rail, but it was still like, it's just so clicky. It's so brutal. It's so mean down there. And you put in the time and yeah, you do kind of get a dick move and you're like, dude, why are you standing here? Like I've been here since noon. And then the argument's always, well, it's GA. You can't tell me where to go. And you're like, yeah, that's true. But like, you still need to have a little bit of respect for somebody that comes and claims their spot all day and puts in the time. Like there's an effort to that. Like it's not just all GA.
Think of Hampton, right? Think of Bill Graham. Like you pick a space, whether it's a seat or the floor, and you have the right, once you've sat in that seat and you've 10 of your friends with you, if one of them gets up, like you don't just get to sit there because it's a GA show. Like that's taken.
Right.
And that's the same thing with the floor. Like I 100% agree with the rail riders. They waited for that space. It's their space. Blah, 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 blah. I just think sometimes the way they handle it is, well,
totally.
Just bottom line is I'm never going to ride the rail because I don't want to be.
No.
My problem is I look at that space down there. I was standing there during Ruby Wade.
So much space.
Well, I look down there at that space and I see it as like being at a bar. You're just hanging out. You got your drink. Everybody's milling around.
I got another question about spaces.
No, that's not good like that. Hang on. One more thing about the rail, though, is like there's a great little path right there. If you ever have to take a piss, though, and you can get up there because they always have those little things that you stand on. So like the rail's always like a little bit, like a half a foot ahead of everybody else. So if you have to take a piss, you go up there and use that to get out on and come back on and back in instead of trying to cut out through the middle of the floor. It's a lifesaver. Like it's the best shortcut in the world. But anyway, I
thought you were going to say that you just went up to the rail and pissed because there was
no, it's good to get out. It's a great place to piss. Just walk right up there and go. Nobody cares.
I can also say that I feel like I heard that Trey kind of gets bored seeing the same people all the time.
That's what he says, and that's why they tried to change it up. But you know, for every night so far this tour, and we have a nickname for her because we always see her. But the girl with the red hair and the ponytail, she's in the front row every single night, and even the shows we go to, like it's and you're like, dude, maybe you should just like let somebody else be there. I know like it's your thing, but like I don't know, share the love.
That's where they want to be. Let them be there.
But so do other people. That's where
they
the
want
problem
to spend their
is.
whole day waiting online to get a bracelet to do it. Like, I saw someone on Twitter be like, "Well, what if I don't have the time, like, to wait all day to do it?" I'm like, and you don't get to be in the rail. Like,
funny about that was what was great was in LA they hired they were hiring people to stand in line for you, like the TaskRabbits or whatever, and then that became a whole thing, which was hilarious. I thought it was genius.
I don't know if you guys know Wombat Matt, but he's always on the rail and he's like the happiest dude and he rages face and that's where he goes. Like that.
And he was mentioning the other day in Nashville, he said they brought down some kid down to the floor with him and let the kid rage on the floor with him. And that's awesome. Like it's totally like one of those like make a wish things. It's make a wish with Wombat Matt. Come down.
I mean, I've been like taken to the rail like second set by a group of people, like pretty close. It was Halloween 14, 14. And like, I was like, thank you so much. This is so great, blah, blah, blah. But like, I couldn't do that every show with, you have to put in the time or you should feel really guilty. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I agree.
We should stop.
And on that note, though, we'll leave it with this, Baker. I can't wait to be on the floor at Dick's with you because we will be down there and it will be awesome. And it's going to be a blast. And that goes for everybody. So awesome. Anyway, let's go back to the show real quick and let's finish up recapping here. Where we leave off on. So they're ripping Blaze on. Wilson.
They played the second Game Hinge song so far.
Yeah.
Possum and Wilson?
No, AC/DC Bag.
Bag and then Wilson.
Sorry. I don't know why I thought Possum was a
Possum.
Noob. And then Wilson and then the Simple, which was we kind of got into. So which 20-minute jam did you like more, Blaze on or Simple?
Simple, because it sounded like fucking Miles Davis on acid or something, like Bitches Brew or something. I mean, with all that synth shit and Trey fucking scraping the guitar strings, I love that.
Yeah. What about you, Llama? Well,
I like the Blaze on because that's when I found out that solos meant that the other musicians still played.
What?
Yes, Llama asked this in our chat if when somebody has a solo, if all the other musicians stop playing and it's literally just that person playing. I was like, are you watching the show with your eyes? Because everyone else is still playing.
Yeah, I was so confused because I heard like what I thought was a solo, but everybody was still playing. So I was like, wait, I guess not.
And we decided that the word solo has two meanings. Go figure.
There you go. Baker, what's
So
like?
yeah,
Blaze on or Simple, Baker?
So when Blaze On came on, I sent a message to my group chat that was like, Blaze On just doesn't have the kick that I like, you know, it just doesn't have that kick for me. And then it was like an epic jam. And I was like, holy shit, this is fucking epic. But there was something about this Simple that was like so evil that I feel like it edges the Blaze On out, but I think they were both fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I thought they were both like, this is why we see Phish for that.
I thought the Simple was, I liked the Simple, but like we had talked about, the ending was kind of weird. Like it was such a weird, I thought everybody kind of looked at Trey like, wait, we're ending now? Like they were kind of ready to keep going. And it felt weird, but it was a
like
sick
a
jam.
ripcord?
Like, I don't know if it was really a ripcord as much as it was more like, I don't know. It was just weird.
I felt like they were moving towards it, but the rest of the band was still 10 measures out before they actually went back to the theme. And Trey was like, oh no, we're already here.
Yeah, it was weird. I just thought it was a strange, like, and yeah, I don't know. And Paige kind of made a weird bass with it and stuff. So I don't know. I just thought it was kind of an odd move.
Speaking of weird,
so you like
Trey
Blaze On better?
faces.
No, I actually liked the Simple jam better. It was just that ending I didn't like as much. I thought Blaze On kind of like had a better follow through at the end than Simple. I just didn't like the way Simple kind of concluded. But I thought the jam in Simple I liked it better than the Blaze On jam, I thought. Anyway, go ahead, Llama. I'm sorry. Llama.
Man, I forgot, dude.
Nice.
Yeah.
So then they dropped into Hood, which took them a long time. There was like a big gap between the end of Simple and Hood, and usually Hood just drops right in.
Well, wait, before we go there, look, I'm going to show this real quick, see if this works. But you can see Paige here do this weird thing, which is what I was talking about. So it was just kind of like things were kind of weird the whole night. I felt like I don't know, like just that run through Simple and then out of Simple and stuff. They just kind of felt like they were kind of like weird shit's happening. So I don't know. That was just kind of where I landed. And then I thought going into the Hood, it sounded like when he dropped that, I thought they were gonna drop into Martian Monster and jam that out and then go into Hood after that because I thought that was kind of like the perfect spot there for it and then end with Hood. But they went ahead and went into Hood and then. What I Never Needed You Like This Before was the end.
Yeah, I love that song.
Yeah, that's a good song. Yeah,
that's like John Mayer should cover that.
I feel like Hood should have just played Hood and finished the set with Hood. Like they could have just.
Thank you. 5 songs.
It felt like I don't know. Hood felt short to me. Like it was beautiful and it was slow and like I felt like they were all really like dialed in to making it like strong, but it felt short. Like they
and I think to your point right there, Baker, is like because they had a song coming after it, kind of. So it wasn't like they didn't stretch it out to be the last song of the set and really let it go and end it. They were like, oh, let's truncate it, and then we'll just play another song, and then we'll have a 3-song encore. So it was kind of that feeling of it. I know what you mean, totally. Yeah. So, yeah, and then the 3-song encore, which Sanity's always fun, and Limb by Limb, jam.
Can
sometimes.
we talk about the Sample Face Off Insanity?
Yeah, go ahead, Mama.
I thought it was fun. Like it made me chuckle a bit. Yeah. Especially when I started hearing the Page samples come back. I was like, oh man. I just thought it was
I'm
fun.
obsessed with Fishman samples. Like obsessed. Like I'm disappointed when I don't hear it at a show.
When there's not more of them in every song.
All of it. Like it cracks me up every time. And I think it's funny that it's so controversial. Like people are like, someone has to take that away from him. Like so many people
it's going to define 4.0 as an era. The Fishman sample.
Yeah.
It's the age of
I play this game of
I'm waiting for that, honestly. I'm waiting until they start scratching. Yeah. Like I feel like that's coming. That's at some point we're getting like a DJ set.
DJ
like
Logic. Bring up
DJ totally. Logic. DJ Fishman.
Man. Just having beatboxing samples.
We keep joking he's going to do it like at a really
Inopportune moment.
Yes,
We're right there in the
divided
pause
sky
of the divided
pause, or
sky.
what you
Right.
use, or
Right, totally.
He
Right.
went a little long in Sanity. Like Trey was bringing it back to there, and Phish was
Yeah.
like,
Yep, I agree.
That's so
I
funny.
agree. All right, what
Yeah.
else? I think we're just about out of time. So anybody else
Yeah.
got any final thoughts about tonight? Want to wrap it up?
I think that Santos is an amazing way to end a show when the show is like it was tonight. I think when it ends a bad show, it's like killer, because the whole thing is about remembering where you were. And Charleston 3 and Arkansas both ended with Santos, and they're for me not things I want to remember. And then they ended Mexico with it. They ended tonight with it. To me, that's amazing. I have a necklace. I don't know if you guys know it. My necklace, I got it from Secret Hunza. The front of it says, "You enjoy myself, 12/4/09 MSG." So first time I ever saw Yen.
Oh, nice.
And the back says, "You'll always remember where you were."
Nice.
That's amazing.
That is.
So it's
nice.
it's meaningful, but then it's soul crushing.
So
I want to remember Charles.
whoever your secret Jonta was, knew you well enough to know when you're.
Yes, she did. It was a friend.
That's
very nice.
But yeah, it is a great, and to your point, seeing it at Halloween, and then I was at the New Year's show when they did it, and they were so now you're seeing them fly around and having that in the head as what they've always done with it. I always have that in my head of it, it's oh, the song, I've seen it to its best incarnation. So now it's just kind of whatever else they do with it, I love. It's just okay, let's have fun with it in the show.
Was that
it's
2019 with the
18, the Mercury.
clones?
18 with Mercury, when they did the balloon drop with Mercury, and then they went into Santos and were flying up and down with the
I was
things.
there, and I can't remember it.
Yeah, that was fun. That was a good one. And then what was I gonna say? The other thing I was gonna say, I can't remember. Anyway, yeah, it was good, but it's always a good ender.
Sorry, what shows are you guys seeing this summer?
Dick's. That's it.
Hershey, AC, and Dick's.
Yeah, so we'll all be at Dick's.
How
So
about
it's gonna be a
you?
good time. So
AC, Dick's, Vegas, Mexico.
Nice.
see, we'll see Dick's in Vegas together. I can't wait to see you in Vegas too. Awesome Halloween. That'll be fun.
Vegas is the worst.
We'll have a good time. Oh, and I was gonna
All
say,
right, so what do you guys think is gonna open tomorrow's show?
Ooh, good question. Good question. Llama. Huh? Okay. And I think you're gonna get a llama tomorrow. I don't know if it'll open the show, but I like that guess. I definitely like that. It's a good one. What do you think, Kev?
What haven't they? How about they open up with Fee?
Ooh, I like that.
Fee out there.
I like that.
Look for the megaphone.
Right. Always.
Baker, what do you think they're going to open up with tomorrow?
Do they continue the second set opening song, so maybe a Bowie could be it, or do they go back to sort of a first set opener type song?
I feel like it could be I want to say MoMA just because they do it all the time.
There we go. Yeah.
But
I was thinking sort of
like
that Saturday night, it's like a party time, or a Marley song, maybe like a Shoal Shakedown or something to open it with.
My Soul. I'm going with My Soul.
Oh, there you go.
There
Okay.
you
Yeah,
go.
there could be
That's a
something
good
like
one.
that. There we go. There we go.
Thank you.
I like it.
Bringing
What
me
you
back
got,
to the
Travis?
songs that open shows.
What you got, Travis?
Mirror in the bathroom. I was saying like a party time, or a Marley thing or something.
Right.
Soul Shakedown or something to open it up.
They did party time in Nashville, though. I don't know if you'll get
Or a
another
random
sound quick.
Go to the
Oh,
floor
right.
song.
It opens at 2.
Right, that's right.
Drift while you're sleeping to open. Put
No
everybody
way.
down on the lawn.
He
Yep.
wouldn't do that.
No.
How about the landlady? That's always a pretty.
That's
solid
always a
opener.
great one.
They
I love
only
that.
started doing that really recently.
I
They
love
did
that one.
punch you in the eye in Nashville.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
they-
always
Yeah.
a great one. I mean, that and Buried Alive are my two faves, so can't go
Buried
wrong
I
with
had
Alive
an
that.
might come
incident with
back.
Buried Alive. 2013 Dicks. I ate mushrooms. Buried Alive started. I started puking. I was like,
Oof.
the song just made me sick.
Good start to the
Oh,
show.
man.
It was
But
all
it is
downhill
like
from there,
it is like a
right? Ready to go after
song that
that.
can make you sick.
That's right. All right, guys, that was fun. Baker, thank you so much for
Fun.
joining us. Come back this weekend. We're here all weekend, so feel free to drop in.
All right,
We'll
only
be
if I
here the
can
next
yell
few
Kevin
nights.
again.
We'll leave the light on.
That's
I
right.
don't
We got
know.
the real talk out of the way, so it's all done. All's over with it. We can move on.
I'll find something else to
Exactly. It's a
I'll
whole.
find
It's like
something
Fish
else.
Twitter. It's like Fish Twitter. The next day, you move on and find something
do
else to
something
bitch
else.
about.
I'll
So,
find it.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
All right.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot. You guys are
Thanks for
awesome.
watching.
Definitely tune in tomorrow night. We'll see you. Enjoy the show tomorrow. See ya.
Hold on.